Monday Night Raw hot takes. Let's start off with surprise Javon won best booking in months. That's Salvo Savage. I wouldn't say months because Drew McIntyre just won last month. However, it is nice to get 2 months in a row with good booking. Javon Evans is now in the Elimination Chamber and overwhelmingly people are happy about it. Javon, baby, says Carmichael. I finally get him now. I get the hype. Yeah, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you just don't get it right away and you scratch your head and you're like, why is everybody liking this person? And then one day it just clicks. That happened with Carmelo Hayes. I did not like Carmelo Hayes at all. And then one day he was like, put the fries in the bag, you're washed. And from that moment on, I loved him. And then there's Bill Goldberg, who, when he exploded onto the scene, I scratched my head and was like, why do people like this guy? And then about 25 years passed, and I still, to this day, am like, why do we like this guy? Anthony Blakely. Javon is the best option between Gunther. Walter is thick Gunther, and Dom. Nothing against Dom, it's just Dom isn't really doing anything, and Walter is already known for being legends, for beating legends, so no point there. Some people were actually surprised. Some people thought that it was a given that Gunther was going into the chamber. I'm very happy he wasn't. Not just because I wanted to see Javon Evans in the Elimination Chamber, but I don't want to see Gunther take a pin. I want Gunther to go on a very long, no pin, no submission streak here. And a triple threat was the best way to make him lose without him losing. Because now he can just be, I didn't lose that. I did not lose that. Dominik lost that match, not me. And Javon, like, very happy. I think someone says we got some young blood. Yeah, Keith Caldwell says, finally, Triple H putting some young blood in the Elimination Chamber. Not just young blood, but did you know that Javon Evans is actually younger than the Elimination Chamber itself? He's the Elimination Chamber, I think, 2002, and Javon Evans was born in 2004. So it has 2 years on him. Other hot takes we got, Non-Cyclist Pro, hot take, took a month to book the Vision well, but they finally did it. Hopefully they bring in Brock Lesnar as their rightful leader. All right, the Vision was booked pretty well yesterday, I thought. However, please don't bring in Brock as their leader. I don't know, just one night of okay booking. They weren't even booked like dominant heels. They just weren't booked to look like chumps. That's the best we've gotten from the Vision in a while. Not looking bad is the best we can get with the Vision, but hey, you know what? It's a start, but I don't think Brock is the solution. We got Go Buggy. I think if AJ Lee wins the IC title, she will kill the division because AJ Lee takes very long breaks after WrestleMania. Yeah, like, I think Roman Reigns calls up AJ Lee and says, hey, how do you get so much time off? Because boy howdy, AJ is just never present. That Lemur says, kind of a nothing show aside from both triple threat matches. It was very much a nothing show. I think this was the definition of filler. We're just biding our time for WrestleMania 42. I mean, like, I don't think anything of worth is gonna be happening. And we already know who's gonna win the chamber. It's like, yeah, for sure, no shadow of a doubt, LA Knight. Yeah, right. I wish. Cody Rhodes. So it's like, Cody Rhodes is going to win the chamber. We got CM Punk's going to beat Finn Balor. AJ Lee's going to beat Becky Lynch. Everything is filler right now. I guess there's a question mark on who will win the Elimination Chamber now that Bianca Belair has gone in for surgery and she's not going to be some surprise entry. So it's like, I guess we're just waiting for Charlotte to win that. So Charlotte versus Jade at Mania. This was definitely a nothing burger with nothing sauce and nothing fries and nothing mayo and nothing, with a nothing diet soda. We got Bishop Marley says, normally wrestlers talking in their native tongue doesn't bother me, but Stephanie speaking in Spanish the whole time during the interview was annoying. And why did Liv start crying if she didn't understand? The crying part was Dominik was whispering in her ear translating. Seems out of character for Liv and made Stephanie seem more unrelatable than she already is. I didn't mind the, I didn't mind Stephanie speaking only in Spanish, but I think it went way too long. It felt like 6 minutes of Stephanie just going on and on and on. And if they would have just shortened it to 2 minutes and got the point across, it would have been better. Now, this was the first I've seen Stephanie actually have some passion and some character, so I did like that. But the translation, I totally disagree with what she said. She said that Liv has amounted to nothing, that she was handed everything, that she's just been part of the WWE machine this whole time, and she basically discounted her career, while Stephanie has been on the independent scene, fighting and clawing her way to the top. And while, yes, that is commendable on Stephanie Vakir's her journey, but to say that about Liv Morgan then also implies that John Cena is, they're in the same boat. John Cena was a product of WWE. He had the machine the entire time. So if Stephanie really believes what she said to Liv Morgan, then she must apply that to everybody like that. That means Randy Orton is a nothing wrestler and John Cena is a nothing wrestler if Liv Morgan is a nothing wrestler because of the fact that she did not wrestle on the independent scene. And I think we all can admit that he is the GOAT. John Cena and Randy Orton, well, I think we all respect Randy as well. So now if she did also throw in there that you hide behind the Judgment Day, which you could say that's a valid criticism, but everything else Stephanie said wasn't. Now, to your point about just the speaking in Spanish thing, it's like, I wonder if they're doing it because of the controversy around Bad Bunny and the fact that he did a whole halftime show in Spanish. I wonder if they're trying to draw on that. I know Vince Russo actually commented on it, and he's like, I didn't want to see a whole halftime show in Spanish. I didn't want to see a whole WWE segment in Spanish. He did that on the first last week, and so I wonder what he said this week. But again, I think the main problem was because Dom was there. Maybe if Dom had spoken louder, it would have been better. But I feel like it's just, the segment went too long. I think if we just had made it 2 minutes and drove the point home a little harder, I think it would have been better and more, but just better for everybody. But that's one of my critiques on every single thing in WWE. We draw things out a little too much. The matches are too long. Shave off 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and do more, quicker. Mama, there go that man who picked up Dragon Lee's Revive card. Revive Dragon Lee! Boop, 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 boop! He's back! Last week he was literally choked out and just hung to die by Gunther, and now with someone threw the Revive card, and he's alive again! He's gonna get Ray retired? Oh man, this is my favorite comment of the video, for sure. I love that. And yeah, you know what? I honestly think, maybe he does. Maybe Ray comes out. I booked this somewhere. I can't remember where I booked it, but Ray comes out and saves Dragon Lee from getting choked out. Then we have Gunther versus Dom at WrestleMania to retire him. And as he beats him down, guess who comes for the save? Dominik Mysterio. And Dominik turns face. And it's like, whoa! The Wrestle Don says, I think Javon was the right winner, but in my minor complaint is that I feel Gunther should have been more protected than a single weapon shot if he's going to be taken out of the match where his opponents are lower on the card than him, with one of them being a 21-year-old rookie. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. So you don't mind Javon winning, but you wanted maybe just a little more protection. Maybe you would have wanted Gunther. He gets up from the bell rung and then he puts Dragon Lee in a sleeper, and he's more concerned about punishing Dragon Lee than he is about winning. And during that, Javon wins. Now I don't know if that would make Gunther look stupid, but then again, I think right now Gunther is in his I just want to hurt people era and not so much I want to be champion era. But okay, you are heard, Wrestle Don. Eric Shook says, what's in the box? What's in the box? Show me the box. You know what? I'm thinking of doing a video. I'm legit thinking of doing a video of what I think is in that box, because there was a box that said do not open until Elimination Chamber. So if I get one comment comment on anybody wanting a box video, my top 10 what could be in the box. I'll do a video tomorrow. Go Buggy says, I don't really know why the Usos are even a tag team champs when they are not helping the division when it's all about Jay. I don't know why we even have... Just merge the belts back together. Just merge the belts back together. Because, I mean, the New Day had it. Nothing. The Usos had it. Nothing. I mean, the closest thing to we had a relevant team with it was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, who, like, to this day, I don't know why they were ever a team. But when they have more chemistry or more of a push than the Usos and the New Day, two of the greatest WWE tag teams of all time, that says there's a problem with the division. Teddy Boy Ward says, I thought it was rock bottom when Green Shirt Guy was getting asked for autographs, but Anulo, Green Shirt Guy, strikes again. And he was a dad with a mini Green Shirt Guy. So yeah, Green Shirt Guy, a legend. I remember watching last night and be like, oh, hey, Green Shirt Guy is there on a random Raw. That's interesting. And then I saw a little Green Shirt Guy. And so now the fan that has a green shirt, well, he has a fan club now too that they're going to start cosplaying. And I'm not going to lie, now I kind of want to be a Green Shirt Guy. Program for Damage says having Stephanie cut her promo in Spanish and having Dom translate was a stroke of genius. Stephanie came across as confident and BA. Dom plays his part also well. Again, Stephanie did seem very confident here. Very, very confident. I did like that about her character. This is the first time I've actually seen character in her character. Jimbo Slice says AJ versus Becky would be so much better if Becky carried herself like she normally does. I don't understand why she's so scared of AJ. Why is fear the emotion we're working with? Why not hatred, anger, or jealousy? That's a valid point. Because Becky Lynch has been like, she was a bully. She was a bully to Maxine Dupree. She's punched her in the face. She hasn't been afraid of anyone. There's no need to be really afraid of AJ Lee. There's just no reason. Jealousy, I think, would have been the appropriate one. She should have been jealous. She had a book. She was before her. She could say that AJ Lee could be saying how she was the women's wrestler in the Divas division, and Becky Lynch could take exception to that, but she shouldn't be afraid. Becky should be afraid of people who are taller than her, like Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, maybe even Natty because of the new Natty character, but she should not be afraid of AJ Lee. Valid, very valid point there, Jimbo Slice. We have not a hot take, but I think Finn is turning face. That's from Martins. Yes, I think we get a face turn, and Dirty Dom versus Finn at Mania, maybe even versus JD, triple threat. What do you think? Dark Kanji says, why are we still doing the Americano thing? I love Grande Americano. I'm so happy that he's had a resurgence in his career after being blacklisted back in the 90s. However, I think we are at jump the shark territory here, and we need to dial it back and get back to the original essence of what Grande Americano is. Raphael Adair says Stephanie Fakir had no business cooking Liv into tears, but dang, she's acting like a BA champion. So yes, a lot of people seeing that Stephanie Fakir had some personality. She's got personality. I don't know the rest of the song, but I'm just going to stop and go to number 2 from Raphael Adair. Dom versus Javon versus Gunther was the unexpected show stealer. People forget that Gunther is the definition of anti-air with the way to counter an OG cutter. Yeah, I like that, anti-air. Man, he countered a cutter, OG cutter, right into a sleeper. Very impressed. I was very impressed by Gunther's last night and Javon. Those guys, if they're not careful, they might be like two very opposite ends of the spectrum that have just great chemistry together. FMJ also, why is it always somebody in a black hoodie interfering? Why can't we get a red hoodie? Yeah, why not? Change it up. Change it up. Let's get, I bet the New Day have like a unicorn hoodie. Let's get a unicorn hoodie in this. We have Tracy Woods. I thought it was funny that green shirt guy had a little mini-me. Punk kind of opened the gates for Finn to leave the Judgment Day. I hope Creative doesn't drop the ball on that. He could stick with them or leave them. Just make it interesting. Yeah, you know, if nothing else, Creative has proven time and time again that if they had a ball, whoops, I dropped it. And then let's go to the company doesn't worry about tight storyline, says Kage Williams. You can tell by the way we had no idea what the Usos were out for tonight. Oh, yeah. So the Usos, they come out. Yeet, we're coming out. They literally come out to open the show. Then the Vision come out. Then Adam Pearce comes out. Then LA Knight comes out. And LA Knight's like, why don't we have a six-way? What were the Usos going to originally do? And by the way, they just stood up there for like 10 minutes looking like chumps until LA Knight pointed at them again. But what were they going to do? Why were they originally coming down to the ring? Were they just coming down to the ring to say, yeet, we got the tag team division on lock? Was that it? Like, what was the purpose of that? Major Mario says, in my opinion, the AJ promo was the best one she did since returning, yet it felt a little off. I agree. This was her best promo, but again, it was still off. Maybe AJ Lee, and I'm not saying this, it's going to come across wrong, but maybe AJ Lee was a big fish in a small pond back in the day, and now she's just a normal-sized fish in a huge pond, so it's like she just doesn't stand out as much as she once did. Gabe Brokenshire says, hot take, I know Raw is supposed to be considered the better show, but man, SmackDown has been better for the past few months. I don't know if it's been better for the past few months, but I think it's been better since the Scottish psychopath has taken the helm. Kid Wilkes says, my best friend rarely watches wrestling nowadays, but he asked me why LA Knight is not more over and why Natalia's new gimmick exists since he despises her. Well, just because he doesn't like Natalya doesn't mean other people don't like Natalya. Natalya, though, I will say I am tired of hearing how much Natalya dominates and Natty decimates. God, they just said it way too much. Like, when they try to shove something down our throats, it's very annoying. And then, but LA Knight, you know, why? I wish I could answer you other than he got himself over. He did the cardinal sin of getting himself over because the crowd was like loving him last night. And I don't know why we can't, why Triple H can't love him too. DS Mark says, I finished the show within 10 minutes. I only care about promos. All the wrestling gets fast forwarded. For wrestling, there's Triple A and AEW. I would recommend going back and watching the triple threat at the end of the show. That was a pretty decent match. But I am with you as well in that I am more of a fan of the promos, the stories, and then the wrestling. The character work's more important than the wrestling to me. And then we have Keith Caldwell says, thanks, Masked Man, for putting Logan Paul's face in the table. That was great. That was a good shot. I'm thinking you don't like Logan Paul as a person, and that's what you're actually saying, but I actually, as just from a wrestling perspective, I thought that was a really cool spot that I wasn't, you know, I liked that Logan Paul was yelling and being obnoxious, and then boom, like out of nowhere, his face gets planted. It didn't interfere with the match, but the Masked Man was able to get his one-uppins on Logan Paul. But now I'm like, wait a second, does that mean Logan Paul isn't behind this either? Like, who now could this be? If that's really Seth Rollins, then he has now attacked Austin Theory and Logan Paul, who we thought were maybe on the inside. Is it Bronson Reed? Is Bronson Reed the guy on the inside? I don't know. We shall see. All right, boys. All right, girls. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to comment if you want my top 10 What's in the Box video. See you. Bye.